wait 1 or 2 minutes, then we can start. 9:40 a.m. IST will start. So the number is keep on increasing. So look like the people are joining. Sirag, good
Mhm.
morning and happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day. I think people who have joined here might not know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, that's been right. We've been connected for Asia Pac region. Okay.
uh
No, I just thought like it's a India specific session. Sorry for that.
yeah, this is today is the Independence Day for the India, and it's actually official vacation for the Indians here.
That the reason maybe like we yesterday we had a few people who's been collected from India's region, but I'm not seeing a large number of audience has been not connected. Maybe because of that, it's been
Okay. Hi everyone, again welcome to the session, day two on Azure Active Directory and Entity Management. And I hope you have all enjoyed yesterday's session. And today's session is going to be continuation of it. And the yesterday's session was uploaded to a community yesterday itself. And if you're somebody who joined us for the day two, please do watch the day one after the today's session so that you will have the whole picture. And with that, I'm moving the mic to the trainer to be getting started with the session. And over to you.
hey, thank you, Sirag, for coordinating and hosting this program. So good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining on day two. I hope audio has been clear and you are able to get a presentation and audio in a proper way. Can you just confirm in the chat? So I hope your audio has been good to everyone here. So if you can just confirm the audio, so we can start the session.
Yes, the audio sounds fine.
Okay, thank you. So thank you everyone once again for joining this session. Yesterday we were discussing about understanding about Active Directory components. We understood the importance of a Active Directory on in a infrastructure, especially on in a cloud infrastructure, and we considered about how legacy or a existing infrastructure has been working also. So we were discussing about the on-premises scenario and we were discussing about the cloud scenario also. Yesterday we have been concluded our session by implementing a on-premises DC on in a East US location. Let me share my whiteboard here. Yesterday we were discussing about how do we create a user account on in a on-premises ADDS, and we are trying to do a comparison between cloud AD and on-premises AD. So for doing this lab, we were doing a on-premises DC installation yesterday. So we are taken a on-prem DC. Name of the DC we are given it's a apple.com. So have a server has been available. So we have taken one server in a East US location. Domain name we have been provided is like a apple.com. So that is the lab yesterday we are doing. We'll set up our on-premises DC ready. Once on-premises DC has been ready, we'll try to see how user account is been created on in a on-premises DC, and we'll see how user account or a tenant is got created on in a cloud also. Let me connect to the cloud portal and ensure that our DC has been working fine. Yesterday I've been decommissioned also, so I may have to reinitiate deployment because for the due to a cost one, I've been decommissioned a DC server last night. So let me go and see if it's been available. We'll use that one, or we'll use a new Apple.com DC. With the help of that, we can able to do the slab here. Right now, I'm just trying to connect to the portal. It's waiting for a OTP code from the Microsoft portal. We need to wait for a minute. Right now, we'll just given my personal credential on in the portal here, so we need to wait for a minute here. Let's wait for a minute here. I'm just hosting on in a cloud portal. Give me a second. Waiting for the OTP code. Yes, we have been received a code from portal. This code has been not taking. I may have to re-enter that. Entering a code again. Whatever code we have been received, it's been not taken. So just give another code. Right now we have been connected to the cloud portal here. Let's wait. Right now this creation is in progress here. Yes, we have been connected to the portal here. Let me take the existing DZ here. So let's go to the on-premises one. It's got DZ's got decommissioned here, so I may have to recreate my on-premises DC again. Due to cost part, I have been decommissioned after our session yesterday. Let me recreate the on-premises DC here. Let's wait for a minute. Let me delete the existing one and create a on-premises DC here. Right, so this creation is in progress here. Decommissioning the existing resources which has been created here. Let's wait. Right now, this deployment it's in progress here. Let's wait. It's been like decommission of the existing resource group has been progress here. So right now on this lab, we are trying to do a comparison between ADDS and Azure AD here and RID here. For doing this comparison, we are trying to implement a on-premises DC here. Since I have a few resources already in place, I'm just decommissioning the existing or legacy resources been already created here. Then we'll go for the creation of a new one here. Let's wait for this to finish it. Right now we have been deleted the existing resource group here. Let me create a new on-premises DC on in a cloud portal. Let me try to connect to the cloud portal and implement a on-premises DC here. Name for this DC I'm just giving as a production. I'm just giving the resource group name is production one. Name for the server I'm giving as a on-prem DC. So this is the name currently I'm giving here. I'm just giving to on-prem DC and connecting to the Windows Server 2016 data center version here. We can go for 2022 or a 2019, depends upon the choice of the customer or a client here. But for doing this lab, I have taken on-premises DC with a Windows Server 2016 here. Let me create it in a subnet A and on-premises DC here. Right now the installation it's been triggering here. Let's wait for a minute. Right now it's been created. Let's wait for a deployment to finish it here. Right now the deployment it's been finished here. Let me connect to server here and install a ADDS binaries here first. Then go for the promotion of a DZ here. Let me connect to the server here. Let's go to the on-premises DC. Connecting to the on-premises DC here. Connected to connecting to the VM. Currently we have been configured here. We are trying to promote this server here. I can see there are few comments on in the chat. There is a Telegram group. No, currently we don't have any Telegram group is got created here. The reason behind that it's like most of the people it's been preferring WhatsApp as the platform. In the past we took a survey which one is the right platform and the people has been preferring. Majority of the member has been preferring a WhatsApp group. That the reason we have been continuing on a WhatsApp. And even WhatsApp also now it's been supporting more than 1,000. We have a multiple groups are available here. We are trying to make an active forum. We don't want to create some platform where people is been not active. That's the reason we are continuing with the active WhatsApp group, and we have an active Discord link also it's been available. That's been already given on in the chat. Right now the VM which you are trying to promote it as a domain controller. Currently it's been loading here. On the screen you can able to see the server manager window is been coming. So it will take a few minutes for enabling all the services on the portal here. Let's wait for that. Let's wait for this is to complete. Let's wait for validation to complete. Look like this validation is got completed here. Let's delete it here. Let's finish it here. Yes, ADDS it's been installing here. Add features. Next, install here. Installation has been initiated here. Let's wait for this is to finish it. Right now the installation has been started on the portal here. Let's wait. Right now the installation it's been progressing here. So we need to wait for a few minutes just to finish it here. Right now the configuration has been completed. On premises DZ binary is got installed here. We need to reboot and we need to reboot, promote this server as a domain controller here. Let's restart the server. It will take a hardly 1 or 2 minutes to come back online. So we just rebooted the VM where we are going to install your on-premises DZ here. Let's wait for a minute here. Let's wait for this is to finish it. Right now this creation is in progress here. So let me correct it again. Let me connect to the server here. On-premise DZ. Right now the server is been back online. Let me promote our server into domain controller. Let me promote this domain controller here. Giving the name for this domain controller is apple.com. Just giving a new name here. It's called apple.com here. Deployment configuration validation in progress in the backend. That the reason this option is been not enabled. Yes, right now this got enabled. Let me give a name called apple.com. Apple.com. Given a new for us here. Given the DSRM password. DSRM password. Normally we used to use it like if there is any Active Directory database failure or Active Directory domain controller failure. That kind of a situation. If you want to reboot from the or if you want to restore your database from a existing backup, that time you need to provide this details here. Let's wait. Let's wait and see how this progress is going on. Right now, the precursor validations are in progress here. Once it has been done, your on-premises DC will be created. Right now, on the location where your database and log file to be created, you may be already aware of that importance of sysvol or a database locations here. Right now, I'm not doing any modification on that. I'm going ahead with the existing creations here. Let's install it here, then go for the final confirmations. Let's wait for this to finish it. Let's wait for this to finish it here. Right now, this has got installed and it's rebooted also. So it will take a few minutes to complete. Right now, this installation is in progress yet, so we need to wait for a minute. Right now, this installation is in progress here. So remote desktop is got disconnected because it's installed a binary and it's been connected here. So let me reconnect it here. And I'm just trying to connect to the same server. It's taking a time, so let's wait. Look like it's been still server is on in a reboot stage. We may have to wait for a minute and we'll connect it here. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can use the chat window for asking the doubt. In case if you have any question has been left out or it's like you need have some kind of a technical doubt, you can post it on the chat window. Right now the server is on the reboot state here, so we need to wait for this is to finish it here. Let's wait. Right now this is to finish it here. Right now you may be able to see this DC is not connecting here. So let's wait for this is to finish it. You may be able to see this. Now let me connect it on in a portal here once again using a on-premises DC. So DC look like it's been connecting here. Giving the username and password here. Let's wait. Right now, this has been connecting. The server has been connecting. Group policy client is got updating here. Let's wait. Right now, this has been loaded. We need to wait for a minute here. We need to wait for this. Right now, the server is being got installed here. Let me go inside administrative tool here. Let me go to Active Directory, users and computer. Users, I just went inside users here. Created a user. Let me create a user called Eric here. I'm just creating a user, Eric. A user has been created, Eric here. So right now you may be seeing a user account has been created in an Apple user account here. Inside Apple domain, we have been created a user account here. Let me connect the server here. Finish it here. So we have a user is got created. Technically, so far what we have done, we have promoted a server into DC here. The name of the DC we have given it's a apple.com. So we have taken a server. We have promoted this server into a apple.com. And domain name or the user account we have given it's been like on-prem DC. You may be able to see we have a server is been available on-prem DC, and we have been created a user account here, Eric here. Now let's go and see how your Active Directory has been created on in a cloud side. Normally when it is coming on in a cloud side, you don't need to go for any manual installation of your DC, similar like your on-premises DC. Right now I'm inside a cloud infrastructure. You may be able to see your Active Directory has been automatically created here. Right now you can able to see your DC is created automatically here. Normally this is been known as a tenant. It's not like a domain here. Domain is got a flat structure or a OU structure. Here it's been the concept is been using like a kind of AD LDS kind of concept here. It's got a tenant here. So with the help of a tenant, your creation or user account management or identity management is been coming. You may be able to see on the screen, you have a tenant is got created automatically here. Let me open a presentation here. This will give you some more insights or an idea about how EDDS and AD is been configured here. Let's wait for a minute. Let me expand this screen here. Let me expand the screen, and that will give you some insight about this. Let me switch the screen into secondary monitor here. So far we have been discussing about authentication. We had a discussion about authorization. Right now we have been reached a location. It's called right now we got an authentication and authorization here. We understood what is the authentication. Right now we understood like you have Azure AD is available. You have a authorization topic also. It's been coming. Some basically known as a uh, configuration of those resources, right? So you may be able to see like you have a authorization is nothing. It's a validation of the resources. So that portion has been completed here. Right now we have been moved on into a Active Directory features. We understood like when you are using an Active Directory, you have a Active Directory can be used a single source of information for, you have a single source of identity solution for your on-premises DC. Even your on-premises DC also going to work with the help of Active Directory. You can able to integrate with all your cloud-based application also. You have an option is available where you can able to integrate that also. So there is a another point we have been learned. Right now you may be able to see this the way it's been working here. Now when it is coming on in an Active Directory management here, by default the Active Directory is being connected to the Azure portal. By default there is a tenant is been created automatically here. You can able to see when you create a user account, automatically there is a tenant or a domain is being got created. One important point you need to understand, when you start creating a Active Directory on in a cloud portal, there is a concept is been coming in something called as license option. You may be seeing like when you create on premises DC, we don't have any concept of license or editions here. But when you connect it on in a portal here, the moment when you connect it on in a cloud portal, you may be able to see on in a cloud portal, you may be able to see there is a license tab or an option you are getting. It's basically based on the feature it's been supported on in a cloud. Microsoft is being released different modes or editions here. If the customer is been looking for a all the advanced security feature or an Active Directory feature, you may have to upgrade your license to the latest edition here. So you may have to upgrade your license here. Right now you may be able to see on in a portal, you may be able to see the license tab here, right? Something called as Azure Active Directory free account. By default, if you create any account on in a Microsoft portal, by default this has been configured with a free account here. Now all it's been, it depends upon whatever type of the feature you want to configure it here. Whatever additional feature you want, you may be heard about password reset or a conditional access. There is a lot of feature is been supported on in a cloud. If you are looking for all these features, you may have to upgrade your license to the advanced version. For example, if you take a Active Directory license mode, you may be able to see there are 4 license you can able to see it on in the cloud portal here. One is called free, Microsoft 365 app, premium 1, and premium 2. Technically, Microsoft has been supporting 4 license here: free, Microsoft 365, premium P1 or a premium P2. By default, if you have any account is been configured, by default it's been configured with a free account here. For example, like in case if you want to use Microsoft 365 app, you maybe heard about Teams or a Exchange or a SharePoint. All these portals are being using Microsoft Active Directory as the centralized identity management solution. So backend, it's been used by the Microsoft Active Directory. So you can able to use the existing model. So in case if you want to integrate your Microsoft collaboration tool with the Active Directory, we may have to upgrade your license or your edition is to Microsoft 365 or a premium P1 or a P2 model here. So that is a model. Normally it's been supported and we may have to use it here. So far, any questions from anyone? Let me give you some lecture note for this. Give me a second. Assure free. Let me not. Let me post a few license options and the lecture note on the chat. This will be helpful for you. Let me post it on the chat window here. I hope you can able to copy it on that. I just pasted on in the chat window. You can copy into your OneNote. Let me paste these details here. So it's P1 it's a P1 license. So these are the licenses we normally supported. I hope you can able to copy this one, right? Can you just confirm now? I just pasted on the chat window or the license notes here. If yes, can you put a like button on the chat, please? Are you able to copy the lecture note or it's been given on the chat? Right now you may be able to see it's like a 4 edition is being supported. Right now you may be able to see here you have a 4 edition is being supported. It's all depends upon what is the type of the feature currently you need here. Currently on the screen, you may be able to see there are 4 edition details been given here. It's been mentioned as a free account, Office 365, premium one or a premium two. Basically, like when you create a Azure account, by default, it's got a free account here. Rest all it's been depends upon how you configure your information here, which all depends upon how you configure your information on in a cloud here. Right now, you may be able to see on in a cloud portal here. You have a free or a 365 or a premium one or a premium two. By default, when you create a Azure account, it's been created as a free account here. In case if you want any additional one, you have to upgrade your 365 or a premium one or a premium two. So the point here I'm saying, by default, it's been configured as a free account. Now, when you want to upgrade, you have an option of upgrading here. So people may be getting a question, where do we need to go for an upgrade? This all depends upon what is the feature the customer is being needed here. Now on in Office 365 or a premium P1 or a P2, you may be able to see the feature it's been supported here. You may be able to see the feature is been currently supported on in a cloud here. So you may be able to see you have a feature is been available here. So you may be able to see the feature is been showing on in a cloud portal here. You may be able to see you have a feature is can able to see it on in a cloud portal. You may be having a option is been coming here. So you have a option is been available here. So you can able to see where it's been connected here. So you have a premium or a premium 2 year. In case if you are referring a Microsoft documentation page, you may be able to see the complete information about the comparison between premium 1 or a premium 2. As an architect, when you decide this license option, better you can refer the Microsoft documentation page. Right now on the screen you can able to see here. When you take it on the portal, you may be able to see like you have a option you can able to see here. Let me move this slide to the next page. Are you able to see this one? Yes. So right now you may be able to see Azure Edition tab here, right? So this page will Microsoft document will give you complete insight about what are the feature is been supported, what are the feature is been available on in a free or a premium one or a premium two. So the difference you will be able to see it on in a cloud portal here. So the option you can able to see on in a cloud portal here. Any questions so far? Next we'll see where you can able to go for changing this license options here. Normally this license option has been configured on in a cloud portal. If you go inside a cloud portal, you may be able to see there is an option has been showing on in a default directory here. Right now, at any point of the time, in case if you're thinking like I have to upgrade into the latest version, basically like you want to upgrade into cloud portal or into a license like L1, sorry, P1 or a P2. Normally this has been done on in a cloud portal here. So you need to go for inside a options here in the cloud portal. You have an option of upgrading here. So you can able to upgrade your portals here. So you may be able to see like you can able to see it on in a cloud portal. If you go inside a cloud portal, there you can able to see there is an option called license here. For example, like by default the free account option you are getting here. In case if you want to migrate or in case if you want to change into P1 or a P2, normally this has been done on in a portal here. So it's been done on in a cloud portal here. So you need to upgrade into a cloud portal. You can just go to a portal here. For example, like if you go inside a portal, if you go inside a portal here, all products, you may be able to see there is an option called try or buy here. You may be able to see like you may be not added or you may be getting an option for try or a buy here. The moment when you connect it on in a portal here, for example, like if you click on the product tab here, you may be able to see you have an option of upgrading to E5 or a P2 here. You may be able to see you have an option of upgrading to P1 or a P2 or a Microsoft E365 or the latest version here. So you have an option of upgrading to the cloud portal. So this is the place where normally we used to go for the upgrade options here. So technically the version which you need to create or it's been like these to decide it on in a cloud portal, all it depends upon what is the feature the customer is needed. So at any point of time, if you are thinking like you want to upgrade, we have an option of upgrading also. So you can able to go and upgrade it in the cloud portal also. So that is a option you can able to see it on in a cloud portal here. So let's go back to the whiteboard. So far we were discussing about how the Active Directory has been configured. What is the difference between a Microsoft Azure AD and Active Directory? That is a topic currently we have been discussing. So a couple of points so far we have been learned. The first point we have been learned, you don't need to create any manual effort on in a cloud side when you're going for creation of Active Directory. By default, it's been created. Now, what is the type of the feature which you need? That all depends upon the license or edition it's been supported here. If you're looking latest or a advanced feature of the cloud, you may have to go for the upgrading your version to the cloud side. So that is a one important point all of us need to remember on in a license portion. Another important point we have been learned here, when you go for creation of a license here, it's basically the versions which you have been supported here. So that is the second point we have been learned. So the moment when you go for any creation here, it's needed license version so that you can able to upgrade it here. Another point we have been learned during this edition discussion, or another point we have been learned during this Azure AD discussion. When you configure an on-premises DC, we were getting a lot of inbuilt tool that can be used for management of the users or a domain here. But when it is coming on in a cloud infrastructure, each and everything it's been managed with the help of the Azure portal here, with the help of the default directory option, which has been coming inside a cloud. With the help of that, it's been doing. So you don't have any separate console or a separate tool is been available, which will help you for managing your resources here. Everything has been managed with the help of a existing portal options will be available here. That's another important point we have been learned on in a cloud scenario here. So there's an option has been supported here. With the help of that, you can able to manage it here. Another important point we have been learned, it's about user creation side. Let's go and see how a user account can be created here on in a cloud side. For example, like let me go and create a user account here. Let me give a name called let me give a one name called Arjun. So Arjun is the one user account and creating on in a cloud portal here. Let me connect it on in a cloud portal. I'm just giving a it's called Arjun. Let me give a name called Arjun. Password is given a name here. So I just given a password here. I just given a review and created a password here. So right now we are trying to see how a user account can be created here. When you want to create a user account on in a cloud, multiple ways you can able to create it here. For example, like if you're looking for a single user account creation on in a cloud side, for example, like how a cloud has been available and you want to create a user account, you can go inside your Active Directory. There you can able to see an option called user account. With the help of a user account tab, you can able to create your Active Directory user has been supported here. You may be able to see there's a tab it's been showing as a create a new user. Tomorrow I'll be discussing about a B2B and B2C concept. That time we'll have a discussion about which situation you need to go for inviting an external user here. You may be able to see there's an option you're getting here, something called invite external user. In case if you want to create an individual user account, you can click on this create a new user tab. This will give you a few details or a properties here. For example, like in case if you want to create an individual user account, you can use this method. You need to click on the create user account. That will be opened with the identity management properties here. Right now you may be able to see there is a options is been loading here, where you can able to give your display name or a password, whether the account is been disabled or enabled. For example, like you want to create a one user account. Right now the resource is been not onboarded inside your organization, then you can able to keep your account in a disabled mode. Once the user is been available, he's been joined, you can able to create it here. For example, like in case if I want to create another user account called Messi here, I just created display name is Messi. Messi is the user, and password also it's been given here. I just given a password for account here. Review and create it here. Let's support it here. Let's support this feature here. Right now the user account is got created. So right now you have seen how a user account is been created on in a cloud side. When it is doing on in a existing DC side, normally we used to create inside. Right now I'm just trying to do a comparison of how the user account is been created here. Right now you may be able to see on the screen, it's Active Directory users and computer here. Whenever you want to create any user account inside that, it's been created inside Active Directory users and computer, and you may be able to see there is a organized structure here, right? There is a kind of a structure you can able to see, like kind of an organization unit ways you may be able to see here. See, you have a user account is been available. In case if you want to create a user account, for example, like I'm creating a user account here, it's called Ronaldo. So I'm just creating a user account called Cristiano Ronaldo. I've just given a name called Ronaldo. Okay, Ronaldo is the user account that's been created. I'm just given a username and password. I can have option to set the password here. So right now we have seen how a user account is been created in a individual ways. In case if you want to create more than one, you have an option of creating use the help of CSV file here. For example, like you have a bulk user account to be created, then you may be able to see there is an option here, something called as bulk create here. For example, like in case if you want to go for creation of bulk user account creation, you can able to go to the portal, and inside a portal you have an option of bulk portal creation. So with the help of that, you may be able to do here. So you can just go to the portal. Inside this, you may be able to see the bulk user creation or a portal creations here. You may be able to see there is a bulk user creation can be done on a cloud portal. You can able to see there is a bulk portal creation can be done on a portal here. So you can just go. Any questions from anyone so far? I hope this portion has been clear to everyone here. Any doubt? Anyone? If you good, can you comment it on in a chat? I'm just getting a like button on the chat. Okay, great. So now let's do one another exercise here. It's called RBAC policies here. It's called governance side here. Right now you may be able to see on in a cloud portal. It's been supporting almost 200 plus resources here. It's been supporting 8,000 plus applications on in a cloud portal. Let's go and understand about how governance is being enabled on in a cloud side here. How do we create a RBAC policy? You may be seeing like if you take a old services, you have a hundreds of services or hundreds of feature has been supporting, right? You may be able to see like you have a uh, hundreds of services has been supported on in a cloud portal. Now let's go and understand about a feature called RBAC policy. How role-based access control can be configured on in a cloud, which will help you to do a governance policy inside this organization. Let me give you a scenario here. For example, you have a 100 or a 200 resources been created. Assume all the users available on in the cloud portal, it's got the same access. I'm just saying you have 1,000 VMs been implemented. You have a almost a 500 users are available inside the organization. Now assume all these users is got the same admin access. Can you comment on in a chat what will be the status of your solutions here? What will happen if everyone is got a same access on inside your cloud portal? Can you comment it on in the chat? For example, like all your users inside your organization is got same access. What will be the status? Can you comment it on in the chat? I hope you got a scenario. You have a hundreds of VMs been configured. You have a a number of resources also has been available. Now think one resource has been or one user has been doing some kind of a human mistake. What will be the status for your organization? Can you comment it on in a chat? Looking, the session needs to be more interactive, waiting a response from your side. Let's wait for yes, I'm just seeing a few. Okay, so I got some few direct messages. All is good. Okay, great. Good to know that. Now let me do one exercise here. It's on the RBAC policy here. Right now on in a Microsoft Azure Active Directory, you may be seeing we have created a few user account here. If you go inside a users, you have a few user account is got created here. Right now on the screen, you may be able to see we have created Arjun and Mizzy. These are the two user account it's got created here. Now let's try to understand about a concept called RBAC policy here. How role-based access control can be configured for Arjun or a Messi or the user account which have been created on in a on-premises scenario. We're trying to understand in case if I've been created a user account on in a cloud, when you created a user account on in a cloud, are they going to get any default permissions on in a cloud portal? Same thing we'll try to see if I've created a user account on an on-premises solution, are we going to get any kind of a permission on in the cloud portal also? Can we use the same user account and password on the cloud portal? So that is the exercise. Currently, we are trying to configure it here. Let's understand that one. Let's go on in the cloud portal. For doing this lab, let me create multiple resource group here. Right now, I have only production has been available. Let me create one more resource here. Right now, how many virtual machine currently I have? I have only one on-premises DC. Let me create one more DC here. Let me give the name. It's called server 2 here. Let me connect it here and let me create a new resource group. For example, like I just created as HR here. Server 2. I'm just creating one more. Better I'll create server 2 on in the existing one. Then I'll go for one more creation here. So because we need a multiple resource group here, so let me connect it here. Review and create it here. Let me connect it on the portal here. Let me create a new VM here. Let me connect on the new VM. Let's wait for this to finish it here. Right now the deployment is got completed here. So we have a two virtual machine has been available. It's got created in a East US location. Let me create one more resources on in a another resource group here. Let me give a name called HR. I just give a name HR. Just given server 3 here. Just given server 3. Review and create it here. Let's wait for this to finish it. Right now, this is a creation is in progress here. It's been right now. This is creation is in progress here, so we need to wait. So let's wait for this is to complete. Right now, it can be able to see it's been progress here, so we need to wait. Let's wait for this to finish it here. Yes, it's got finished here. Right now, on in a portal, you may be able to see we have a multiple resource group is got created here. You may be able to see like you have a HR is got created, you have a on premises is got created, you have a production also is got created. Let me take you into whiteboard, so that will give you better understanding about how role-based access control is been working on in a real-time scenario. I'm just giving a scenario how RBAC has been working or importance of a RBAC on in a cloud portal. Right now we have seen how this is got created on in a cloud portal here, right? So you have seen how on-premises DC is got created. Right now we have created a cloud also. You have a cloud also it's got created. Now let me explain a concept coming which under category of a governance here. It's called a role-based access control. So the situation or the topic right now we are discussing is called RBAC policy. Right now on in a cloud portal, you have a cloud portal has been available. Inside this, you have a Azure AD has been available. Inside this, you have created a user account. We created a user account Arjun, and we created a user account Sachin. We created a user account Messi also. Now on the same account, what we have been done, we have created a few resources also. We created a two resource group. One resource group we are given a name HR. One resource group we are given a name called training. Inside this, we have populated few server name also. Now imagine you are working for a organization or a production infrastructure. Think you have a hundreds of users has been created similar like Arjun or a Sachin or a Messi here. And on the other side, you have a hundreds of resources are hosted. Now think all this user account it's got a admin access. Can you imagine what will happen if one user is doing some mistake on in a portal because they got some admin access on in a cloud portal? Right now, you may be able to see how a Arjun or a Sachin or a Messi is being created here. Assume you have all the user account is got a global admin access here. So what will be the status of the user account? Can you comment it on in the chat? What will happen to users here, or what will happen to my production infrastructure? Can you comment it on in the chat? I'm not seeing any chat messages here. Requesting all the members to post your views, or like if you are in this kind of a situation, what are the challenge or what are the concern you are going to face it here? Can you comment it on the chat? I'm not seeing any comments here. I hope I'm audible to everyone, right? Is it I'm missing some comments? No. Okay, just message only. Okay. Okay, I can able to see now. Yes. Right now this chat message has been coming in. Yes. The sound is not loud, so and it's loud. It's not so loud and clear. But, thanks. I will check it in my device. Clear, sir. Okay. I can see there is a can be. Yes, it can goes to a configuration uh, issues. I agree with the Joseph comment also. That can be lead to some kind of a disaster here. Basically, in a ITL term, we used to use a term called outages, right? This can be lead to some outages inside my organization. I agree with all these points here. Now, how do we prevent this? I don't want any kind of manual errors inside my organization here. You may be studied in a cyber security classes or in a cyber security process. User mistake is one of the risky part or the weakest area inside in your DAD layers, right? Because human errors is going to be one of the area or the weakest area or weakest layer you may be able to see on an IT infrastructure. So I need to limit an access because all these outages or risky infrastructure is been coming to my organization because I've been provided same access or I given an admin access to all my users inside this one. So I need to put some kind of uh, control or some kind of configuration for my users here. So that's the way we are going to limit the user account here. So let's go and understand how this has been configured on in a cloud side here. Technically, it's been configured with the help of a concept called role-based access control. So the concept we are going to use it, it's called role-based access control is the solution which you are going to use it for preventing this kind of issues here. So it's basically you will be configured with the help of a role-based access control. So that is a feature we are going to be enabled inside my organization, which will ensure that my organization has been protected with any kind of human errors or it's been coming on in a cloud here. So we are just trying to understand how this has been configured here. Let's go and see how this has been configured here. Let's go and connect into a cloud portal here. You may be able to see you can you can able to use this feature called RBAC here. Right now on in a cloud portal, you have an Active Directory has been configured here. When you go inside Azure Active Directory, you may be able to see we have a few user account is got created here. Look like I'm just taking my secondary monitor. Let me take you into the cloud portal here. Give me a second. Let me load this cloud portal here. Right now on the screen, you may be able to see like you have a Arjun or Messi. These are the two user account. You can able to see it here. Now, if you go inside a Messi or Arjun, these are the two user account. You can able to see it here. Now, if you go inside this one, you have a user account is been available. Now, let me log into this cloud portal with the help of a user account which currently have been created. Right now we have a Arjun or a Messi or a Robin or a Sachin or a V. There are few user account is got created here. Let me log in with that user account and see what are the action currently I can able to do it on the cloud portal here. Let's wait here. Right now this cloud portal is been loading here. Let me log out and log in here again. Right now this is my global admin. So let me try to log in with a user account called Arjun here. So this is the user account we have been created now. Let me log in with the help of user account called Arjun here. Let me give the password. It's asking like, yes, right now after a long marathon effort, our password is got changed here. So right now you may be able to see on in a cloud portal, I have been logged in with a user account which currently it's been created on in a portal here, right? Right now you may be able to see I've been connected with the user account. It's called Arjun. So this is the user account. Right now we have been created here. So I've been connected to the portal with the help of the user account Arjun here. And you may be seeing here the moment when you connected on into cloud portal, I'm not able to see any VMs which has been already created here. Even though this user account has been created on in a same location, can you tell me why I'm not able to log into this portal here, or I'm not able to see any cloud resources currently has been hosted? What is your understanding? Why I'm not able to connect it on in a cloud here? What will be the reason you are saying? Any idea what is the reason here? Even you may be able to see I've been created a 3 virtual machine. Arjun is been not able to use anything on in a cloud portal here. See, I'm not able to create anything here. If you take a resource group also, Arjun is been not able to see any resource group here. You may be able to see if you go inside all services also or all resources also, Arjun is been not able to see anything here. Do you have any idea why the new user account is got not got any access on in a cloud portal? Can you comment it on in a chat? What will be the reason behind that? So technically, if you take any organization or user account creation, by default on in a cloud portal, resources are not configured with any kind of configurations here. By default, it's been not configured with any kind of permissions here. So you may be able to see you've not seen any kind of configurations on in a cloud here. So basically, it's been not there is no option is been available here. So by default, whatever option you are seeing on in a cloud portal, technically this mean not configured any kind of permissions here. By default, it's been not available any kind of permissions on in a cloud portals. Basically, it's been not available any uh, configuration on in the cloud portal. Basically, it's been not assigned any permission to the user who's been created here. Is this point is been clear? Let me see the chat messages here. Let me see if there is any chat message has been any answer has been posted on the chat. No. User support role Arjun account don't have any admin access. Exactly. So this not because of admin access. It's basically like there is no access is been provided here. You may be able to see there is no access is been not provided here. So you may be able to see you don't have any user account has been available here. So you may be able to see there is no user account has been got created here. So basically you don't have any kind of configuration you can able to see it on in a cloud portal here. So you may be able to see there is no configuration has been available on in a portal here. Now let's see how a role-based access control can be configured on in a cloud here. So right now you have seen, even though if you have a user account is been created on in a same domain, user is been not able to access anything on in a cloud portal. Now, how do we give a permission? Permissions are normally provided on in a four levels. Basically, the concept we are using is called RBAC. RBAC can be configured in a four level. One level, it's basically known as you can able to assign on in a resource level. Second one, you can able to configure on in a resource group level. Third one, you can able to configure it on in a subscription level. The last one you can able to configure in a management group level. So when you configure a RBAC, this can be configured on in a four level. You can able to configure on in a resource level, resource group level, subscription level, and you can able to configure inside a management group level also. So that is a four level. Normally you can able to configure it here. So let's go and see how resource level or a resource group level or a subscription level or management group level, this will be enforcing the policy here. Let me take you into the cloud portal. Let me log in with a global admin here. I'm not logged in with Arjun now here. I've been just switched my account into the global admin. Currently it's been configured here. I got a user account called Ravi here. He got a admin access here. Right now on the portal, you may be able to see we have a hundreds of resources been already configured here. Let me take a single resource here. Let me take a single resource here, server 1 or a server 2 or a on-premises DC here. Let me take a one resource and give me a permission to Arjun here. For example, let me take a resource called server 2. I'm informing Microsoft, hey Microsoft, please provide access to Arjun alone. So I'm just going inside a resource. So right now you may be seeing like I'm not taking a subscription based access or I'm not taking a resource group access here. Instead of that, I am selecting in a individual user level here. You're getting the point? The moment when I'm trying to create it here, I'm taking on in a individual user level here. So the moment when you start creating here, you may be able to see it's been giving on an individual level here. So that's a important point. All of us need to remember here. I'm just taking on in an individual level here. So I'm just giving server 2 or the resources here. I just selected the on in an individual level here. So I'm just trying to create it on in a individual user level here. So I'm just giving individual user level here. I just given a server 2. You may be able to see there's an option called access control. I given access control here. I'm just giving a role assignment to the user here. I'm just informing Microsoft, hey Microsoft, give a permission to user called Arjun. You may be able to see there are different functional roles here. For example, like you may be able to see you have a reader permission. You may be having a privilege access control. You may be able to see like you have a owner or a contributor permission also. You can able to see it here. You have a owner permission also available. You have a contributor also available. You have a reader also. So the moment when you start assigning even on in a resource level, again you are getting a subcategory here, basically like a reader or a contributor or a owner. This kind of a subcategory of permissions you are getting here. Let me give a permission like called reader here. I just selected a reader permission. I selected a user account called Arjun here. Arjun is already displayed here. Right now you may be able to see I have an option of creating a user or a group or a service principal here. Right now I have been selected a user account called Arjun here, and I'm giving a reader permission to Arjun here. See, very clearly I'm specifying the permission the Arjun is going to get it here. It's called a reader permission. I'm giving, hey Microsoft, I have a resource called server 2 here. On in a server 2, Arjun is the user who can do the only the read access here. I just given review and created here. So this role is been assigned to the user here. So let's wait for few minutes. I'm just trying to assign this permissions here. So let's wait a role creation here. So let's wait. So let's go and configure this configuration here. you may be able to see you have a new resource has been created here, right? So we have been given a permission. So let's log in here. Let me log in with the same user account. Let me connect it here into this portal here. So it's taking a time for connecting to this. So let's wait. Right now, this has been connected to Arjun account here. Now, right now, if you go inside a virtual machine, how many VM currently we can able to see it here? I'm just connected to the cloud portal. Can you just comment it on in a portal? How many VM right now we are able to see it on in a cloud portal? Are you able to see the rest of the VM? Where we are not able to see server 2 or a 3 here? Server 2 or a server 3 here? Why we are not able to see this other two resources here? You may be notice here, right now we have provided only to a two user account here, right? You may be seeing like we have been only provided only for a two user account here. You may be able to see I have been provided only to two user account only. We have been provided the user account here. So the permissions you have been provided here. So that's the reason you are not able to see any kind of permissions on in a cloud here. So the moment when you connect it on in a cloud portal, why we are not able to see it here? Because you have provided only access or permission only to two user account here. That's the reason we are not able to connect it or we are not able to access on in a portal here, right? So you may be able to see like server 2 or a 3. Why I'm not able to see? Because it's been not given here. So that's the reason we are not able to connect it on the portal here or we are not able to see it on in the portal here. Is this point is been clear to everyone here? So you may be seeing like even I have a resource is been available. Since I have been not provided any access to that resources, we are not able to see that one. So because we are not provided access here. Right now, if I'm trying to restart this computer here, I'm just trying to restart this computer using an Arjun account. Let's go and see how this has been working. And this given, let's go and see this and see what happening on in the cloud portal. Let's wait for a minute. Right now, I just given a restart action here. Any idea where we are getting this message here? I just given a restart message here. You may be seeing like you have a resources got deleted here, right? Resources got uh, error message is got here. When you try for restarting a computer, you got a error message here. Any idea where we got this error message has been error message here? Can you comment it on the chat? What is the reason behind that? The reason behind that, when you created a resource, you provided or you configured in such a way that it's been given only the reader permission here. That's the reason we got this error message. So what I'm trying to say here is when you configure a RBAC policy, again you can able to configure a subcategory here. You can able to configure as a reader. You have an option for configuring as a contributor. You have an option for configuring as a owner also. The moment when you configure your RBAC policy on a reader one, user won't be able to make any kind of changes on configuration changes on in a cloud portal here. So you may be seeing like the moment when you start changing here, I'm not able to do because Arjun is been not authorized to restart here because Arjun has got only the reader permission here. That's the reason Arjun is been not able to make any kind of a changes. So what I'm trying to say that when you configure an RBAC policy, at any point of time, if you have been configured a resource in a reader mode, that particular user or the particular resource won't be able to make any kind of configuration changes. Even include even it's include stop or a restart of your VM also. You may be able to see if the user has been trying to start this computer into a stop mode. I'm just thinking like Arjun is thinking like let me power off this computer here. You may be able to see even the user is been not allowed to do a deletion of or is not allowed to create a uh, stopping of your VM also. Even that also it's been limited here. You may be able to see the moment when you start clicking on stop button, even the stop button also it's been not supported for the user here. See, it's been not supported for the stop button also. It's been not allowed for that also. So you may be able to see even that also it's been got deleted or that's got it's been or not authorized to do that. So that is an important point. You need to remember it on in a cloud portal here. So typically it's been working based on how your user permission has been configured on in a cloud portal. So the reader permission won't allow you to do any kind of a action on in a cloud portal. So that is a learning. Currently we have it on in a RBAC policy here. Now coming on into the configuration side, in case if I've been configured this as a uh, kind of contributor mode here instead of a reader one, let me give you another role here. Let me go to the cloud portal. Let me give a permission on in a um, reader mode here. Let's see what will be the status which you are going to get it on in a cloud portal here. Let me connect it on in a cloud portal here. Let me give a permission is a contributor mode here. Let me give contributor and member is been not selected, so I need to select a member here. Select a member. Right now this Arjun is the user has been created. Let me assign. Let me assign this one. I just given this username, review and create it here. It will take a few minutes. That's for this is to finish it here. Right now the role has been assigned. We need to wait for a second because we need to replicate that one. So let's wait for a minute here. Let me log into the same user account with the help of contributor access now. Let's wait for this to finish it. Let me connect it here. Given yes, let me configure it here. Right now, you may be able to see the user is being configured with a configuration contributor permission. Right now, if I'm trying to stop my computer with a contributor permission, let's see what are the action I can able to do here. I just initiated or it's given a contributor access here. You may be able to see to have a resource is been able to configure it here. See, so right now, if the moment when I started giving a resource here, you may be able to see it's able to make that action here. See, it's been able to see I'm able to restart my computer here, or I'm able to make a changes on in that portal here. You may be able to see I'm able to make a change here, right? I'm able to restart my computer here. See, I'm able to make a change here. So I hope you can able to you got an idea about what is the difference between reader or a contributor permission here, right? You may be clear about how contribution option is been coming, how a cloud option is been coming here, right? You maybe got a difference between these two now. The moment when you start giving a reader permission, I won't have any rights or a permission to make any kind of configuration changes on in the portal. But the moment when you go for a reader, sorry, in the moment when you go for a contributor permission, I'm getting all the complete access here. That's an important point all of us need to remember here. I hope this point has been clear to everyone here, right? Any questions? Now, you may be getting a question here. What is the difference between owner or contributor permission here? The way it's been working, it's almost same only, similar way only it's been working, except on one category. Owner permission will allow you to add permission for other user account. For example, like if Arjun has been configured a permission with the owner, he will get an access to add permission for adding other user account also. So that is the difference. You will be able to see it on in a owner permission here. So contributor is only having a management of the configurations here. The moment when you go for a owner permission, technically it won't have any rights to owner permission will have a rights to add permission to other user account. So that is a one difference. You will be able to see it on in a cloud here. Any questions from anyone? So is there any limit for every rule? Like normally the number of user account needs to be defined on in a cloud. All it depends upon the complexity of your network here. So it's basically like when you go for Azure AD, maximum number we are preferring to have a 7 global admin. Rest all the role you need to define based on what is the type of the permission to be implemented inside your organization. Typically, We cannot say any number like 7 or a 6. That all depends upon how do we need to manage your infrastructure. So that's all depends upon various limits or the constraints or the limitation. It depends upon the context or a platform you are currently using. So always you need to understand about the infrastructure, how big it is, or what are the type of the application this has been hosted. Based on that, we need to take a decision. That may be the right approach. You can do it here. Any other questions from anyone? Now tomorrow we'll be moving on into a next topic. It's called AD Connect. We'll try to understand about how AD Connect has been configured inside a cloud infrastructure. We'll be moving on other few important topic also, like how to configure A to B or a to C model. We'll try to see about how pass-through authentication or how we can able to configure a password hash synchronization method. We'll try to understand about what is the importance of AD Connect Health tool, and we'll try to see about configuration about dynamic row or a dynamic user account. We'll try to understand about how to enable multi-factor authentications, etc. Even we'll try to cover about conditional access also. With that note, let me pause it here. Over to you, Surak.
Thank you, Robin, for the session. I think we went through a lot of things today, and I hope we were able to answer all of your questions. And if there is anything remaining, please do keep it on hold. We do have 3 more days to be going, and be sure to ask your question before that ends. And if there is anybody who is not yet in the community, I'll be sharing the link to our community just in case somebody who wants to have updates about upcoming sessions, and the reminders of the remaining days will be also shared in the community. So that's it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the day 2, and be sure to join tomorrow as well, and be on time as well. Thank you, and thank you, Robin, for the taking his time to share all the details, and thank you all for joining and taking 2 hours of your time to learn something new. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you all very much.